Hello guys, it is Thursday. Some people call it Friday Eve. Some people get really annoyed when other people call it Friday Eve, but it is the day before Friday, so we are almost there. Thank you for tuning in for our KHOU 11 morning news update. My name's Brandy Smith. This isn't a standard newscast or anything like that. This is just a conversation about some of the stories that you guys are clicking on KHOU.com and sharing on our Facebook page. Leave your comments and questions in the comment section. We will circle back to that. I've got Jaime over here running the computer. I'm gonna have to take a picture of this one of these days and share it in the comments so you can see what I see from this side of things. It's probably not what you expect. Anyway, diving into our first story. This has gotten a lot of clicks since we shared it yesterday, and it's this Conroe pit bull attack and the fact that a 19-year-old jumped in to save a little kid. So let me show you some surveillance video. Watch that dog come up and then it just lunges and goes for 6-year-old Mason Lindemann. He had to get staples in his head because of that injury, but it could have been so much worse. You see that kid who runs up and distracts the dog? That's 19-year-old Grant Brown. He heard Mason screaming from a couple doors down, and distracting the dog, pulling him away, gave Mason time to run back to his mom. Just absolutely terrifying. Grant got a cut on his hand, and again, Mason got some staples in his head, but incredible that it wasn't much worse. That dog has been surrendered to the Montgomery County Animal Shelter now, but that video is just terrifying. You see those other two kids just running as fast as they can, and Jaime's over here shaking his head because if Grant hadn't shown up when he did, it's scary to think what may have happened next. But obviously, you see there, Mason was well enough that he could run away. Just had that cut on his head. We're gonna move over to Round Rock now. This story is really gaining steam this morning. You guys are sharing and clicking on it. Yeah, that's exactly what you think it is. A knockdown, drag-out fight in the middle of traffic in Round Rock. So this happened on RM 620, right by Round Rock High School. Witnesses say the man in red, in that red shirt, he's the one who started all this. He's the one who got out of his car. The witness thinks, the guy who shot this video, thinks the other guys maybe cut him off in traffic. So at this intersection, he jumps out and they just start throwing punches. It eventually wrapped up when a bystander was fed up, got out of his car, yelled at him, and they pulled away. The cops did show up, but these guys were long gone by then. We've covered so many road rage incidents, specifically shootings locally. Just take it easy, guys. If someone cuts you off, it's okay. It's not gonna end your day. This might, though. Just keep that in perspective. Don't be getting out of your car. Well, what do you do when you don't have a car and you are really hungry and you want to smoke? Little advice, don't steal an ambulance, because that's what this guy did. That's at least what he told Harris County Sheriff's Office. The guy, he's in his 60s, don't have a name on him yet, but he swiped the ambulance from Cypress Creek Hospital around midnight, went and got some cigarettes, some fried chicken. Deputies were alerted that the ambulance was stolen. They were able to track it down not far. They opened the door and there he was. And told him, just wanted some food and smokes. So I went and got it. He'd been a patient at that hospital previously. Just one of those stories that has you shaking your head this morning. Our next one will too. Larry Seward did this story, shared it last night. So check out this bike. It's a pretty nice bike. Mario Perez thought so because he owned it for a while. Was keeping it on his second floor apartment patio until someone stole it, and then it, showed up right there on the Offer Up app. So Mario says, I found my bike. He calls police, says, hey, remember that bike I reported stolen? Well, I found it on WhatsApp. Help me out. So Mario says they went to the person's house to get it, and the officer really wasn't helpful, and at the end of it all basically told Mario, well, you're just gonna have to buy it back. Good luck with that. We reached out to Houston Police. They tell us this case is not closed yet, and they are going to be talking to managers at that patrol station to figure out what exactly happened and how the officer handled that. I can't imagine being told, just spend $200 to get your own stuff back. I will say, I had my car broken into a couple months back. I never even reported it, never bothered to, because I figure Houston police have bigger fish to fry. Our neighbors on next door, though, did catch the guy going car to car. My car was unlocked. I'm an idiot. That's the other part of it. I was just grateful he didn't break my window, because I've had to go through that before, and then you have to go through the whole replacement, insurance, and blah. So he took one cowboy boot, not the other. Just he took the one, left the other one, left all my Girl Scout cookies. Odd choice. Took a beer out of a cooler that I'd used like at a barbecue the weekend before, so like warm beer, left the cooler, and took my whole go bag for work, my breaking news bag. So if I ever get sent anywhere, if severe weather happens and I have to stay overnight, it's like all my breathable stuff. Surveillance video has him in wearing my rain boots. He made 3 trips to my car. That's my argument for leaving it just a disaster, because he had to take his time and really sift through it. So joke's on you, buddy. I don't know what you're doing with that one cowboy boot, but I hope you enjoy it. Texans training camp starts today. Very natural segue, I know. We want your predictions for how this season is going to go. USA Today says not well, probably, that we're going to come in last in the AFC South. So nowhere to go but up, right? Leave your predictions in the comment section. We will circle back to those. A lot of people optimistic, thinking they're going to win more than half the games. Your forecast today, holy moly, guys, it just keeps getting better. It was good 2 days ago. It was great yesterday. Today is supposed to be even better. High temp around 90, but that humidity is still gone. There's a breeze. I've taken every advantage to get out on a patio. I hope you have too, because it's just perfect weather. Just sit at a nice little picnic table, have a beer, glass of wine, great food, whatever your cup of tea is. Probably not tea. You could have tea. I don't know. All right, Jaime, what do you got?
Well, of course, we'll start off by saying good morning to some of our viewers. Good morning to Deborah. Good morning to Candy. Also, good morning to Amelia, who's actually watching us from Mexico, which is really cool. Thank you all for watching us this morning. In regards to the dog attack that we first started off the show with, Chuck says he's glad that they were able to save the child and that he wasn't seriously injured.
That
just
video,
really scary.
I know I've called it terrifying like 12 times, because it's terrifying. My kids are older now, but I mean, pit bulls are big dogs. They're strong dogs. And they get a bad rap for things like this because other breeds bite more, but they're just very powerful.
And I guess in regards to the road rage, which a lot of our viewers are calling kind of crazy, especially when you see something like that caught on camera and just watching those 3 men kind of go at it. It's like, Roberta's like, just people just need to stop this kind of nonsense.
It has happened so often recently that even Harris County Sheriff Ed Gonzalez has come out and said, people, take it easy. Nothing is worth losing your life over. Okay, someone cut you off, someone wouldn't let you over, someone honked at you. Okay, go about your business. Imagine that their day is probably not great, which is why they're in that state of mind. That's what I always try to think about.
Mark points out, and kind of referring to the man who was wearing red, the bigger man, said, wow, he took 4 solid pops to the head and it didn't even faze him. So he was like, I mean, this obviously could have gotten worse.
And that's just some of the video.
Right.
Because I had to cut it out of our sister station, KView in Austin, put that story together. I had to clip it out and cut what we call a VO, just some video from it. They didn't have the full length of the video in there, but they just walloped on each other. And you see at one point the guy getting knocked to the ground and a dog hops out. They put the dog back in. I mean, it could have been so much worse than it was.
Absolutely. Deborah, in regards to the stolen bikes, said that the same thing happened to her a few years back, and unless you have proof you pay for the bike, cops won't take it back for you.
Oh, and who keeps that? An important reminder to register anything of value. That's a good reminder. It makes sense, but that's awful.
Oh, I know you kind of mentioned the weather a little bit, but Sue says it's glorious outside. Just keep an eye for a guy enjoying the nice weather wearing one cowboy boot.
I suspect he's already gone through the beer. I just can't believe he didn't take the Girl Scout cookies.
I know. Well, I mean.
To each their own. What do you say? Anybody posting their Texans predictions?
I'm not seeing any yet.
I have a few on here from Twitter earlier. Like I said, people are pretty optimistic. Okay, sorry, take me a sec to pull this up. We've got Steve says 10-6. He says the schedule's difficult. Key is the offensive line and secondary. Was it fixed off season is his question. Dave refuses to get his hopes up. He says 7-9. Cheval says he doesn't know, but probably better than his team, which is the 49ers. Someone called Sharky H-Town thinks it 12-4. It's real optimistic. And Doug thinks he's being optimistic by going 9-7. Says we have to get over the hump this year. It's time.
It is time. Some of those guys, even J.J. Watt, they're not getting any younger, and they're kind of in their sort of their prime or they're at their peak. So now's the time to sort of take advantage. It's kind of a make or break year for Bill O'Brien.
If you haven't, hop over on J.J. Watt's Twitter feed. Darren Ravel, the sports writer, shared a photo of J.J.'s training pass. And Ravel said it looks like he wants to tackle someone because JJ has a very serious face. And JJ responded with, Darren, that's literally what they pay me to do. It's kind of a funny exchange.
What is your prediction for the Texans?
I think 9-7. I think 9-7. I hope we don't end up at the bottom of AFC South.
I don't think we will. I don't.
We're going to be worse than the Jags?
I have a hard time seeing that.
Right?
It's the schedule is very tough. We open with on Monday night, in New Orleans against the Saints, and then there's a middle portion of that schedule where we have to face the Falcons, the Patriots, then the Colts twice. It's not going to be easy for them.
Okay, fingers crossed. Because it feels like fall football weather outside, so maybe that will help as they start training camp.
Yeah.
I don't know. Any kind of magic that works.
At least they get to start off training camp with weather like this. Typically, it's like this, you step out on that field and you just feel like you're going to melt. Having covered training camp, a couple of times.
Yeah. Oh, and you can enter the drawing to be there for training camp. It's open to the public. There's a lottery involved. I think we have a link on khou.com.
Yes, we do.
If you want to take part in that. I think the first one's August 1st, August 2nd?
Yes, next Thursday, yes.
Beginning of August.
Yeah.
There we
go.
go.
A week from today. As a first open practice.
Perfect. Okay.
Yes.
All right. We'll have another update coming up at 2:15. I hope you guys get out and enjoy the weather. Have a great day.